In today's episode, we take you into the abandoned estate of a world traveler who never had any kids to take ownership of the property. And what I discovered in this house left me quite disturbed, to say the least. In 1943, Miss Kay was born, where she spent her teenage years in Lombard, Illinois, soon going to college at DePaul and several other schools to get her education. She frequented Europe, traveling to Italy, Greece, and France, where she ultimately decided to dedicate her life to teaching the different cultures of Europe. She majored in French and went on to teach French in New England at a local high school, where she dedicated much of her life to her students, being involved in many extracurricular activities. She retired in 1996, living in a beautiful estate in the forest. She collected stray cats and had as many as 5 at a time. Towards the end of her life, she converted the top half of her house into a bed and breakfast, still being social in her later years with guests. But one tragic day in July 2022, as her guests had left for their stay, she passed away in her bedroom, not being found until much later. The home was seized by the bank, and as she had nobody in her will, it was given away and put up for auction, all of her items now discarded. While the home was abandoned, we were able to take a look into her interesting life before all memories of her were wiped away for good. Today we're exploring an abandoned house that was abandoned in 2022. Now I have to warn you, there's something very graphic in here that I didn't realize at the beginning. Everything has been left, just completely frozen in time since 2022. This was owned by a lady who I believe was single. She traveled the world, visited France many times. She attended school as well for a very long time, and towards the end of her life, she moved away from Illinois to another state, and she now has passed away. Probably the last few years of her life, she converted her home, her new home, to a bed and breakfast upstairs. So lots of people came and went from this home. And at the bottom of the house is where she lived. And this is where all these crazy things are. There's things from all sorts of travels to Greece, Egypt, France, and probably a lot more places that we don't know about. The downside of not having kids, when you pass away, you're forgotten about. Her body was taken out of this house and everything was just left just as it was. And now this is probably going to all end up in a landfill, as sad as that sounds. This is the reality for a lot of people in this world. We're here to show the history and to show the life this lady lived. Hopefully, it will not be forgotten that way. That's the way I see it. But let's get into it. So this is the kind of walkway in here. Nothing too special. This house goes far back and it has lots and lots of things. So we're going to kind of come here and start off in the main room here. Gosh, there's quite a lot to look through. So what I could find out, this lady was a traveler. Lots of connections all around the world. And lots of things she has gotten over the years. Such as this vintage lamp. You can tell that's vintage. That must be made of lead or brass or something in between. Just all over the place. Vintage items that she's collected over the years. For example, this is from Greece. Whatever this is, kind of looks like sugar. There's all sorts of things here. You guys are going to realize quickly this house is like a museum. Now, towards her final years, she did have a lot of cats. By the looks of it, lots of things about cats. But she was a reader. She read lots and lots of books. She did not lead a normal life, let's just say. That is a cool globe. So as you can see, this house is hoarded, but it's neat. It's not like terribly hoarded. There's just so many books around here. I mean, you could just really tell her love for books. But here we got like a piano and some swords. Huh. Oh, Looks like she took these photos at Chicago O'Hare Airport. I believe this part is still here. At least I remember walking through a hallway like this. Very cool. This piano. Glovetier or something like that. Here we have this kind of archway. This house has some pretty cool features. It's definitely an older home. Well, obviously. But it has some kind of special features here. Now over here, as you can see, we have some CDs, CD collection. But like I said, this is a clean house. As hoarded as it is, there's nothing on the floor, nothing blocking the way. You can clearly, easily walk through all this stuff. Here's where it gets kind of interesting. We have some Russian cigarettes here. Now these are not originally from Russia, but it's acrylic writing right there. Kind of a warning. And I believe these photos here are from her family. Now you guys are going to see a lot of nun-related things. I don't believe she had a husband. I think she was single for her whole life. She was born in 1943. So it's possible that these photos were of her. It kind of looks like her, but it could be her mother. Now, I'm probably not going to redact anything. This house is going to be cleared out in about a month. Everything's going to go. This is probably going to be restored. Now, here we got like a typewriter. Looks like she used this quite frequently. It's crazy how this home has decayed so much, as you'll see. It was only abandoned in 2022. Here we have some Russian-themed stuff. I'm certain she went to Russia. Oh, it says Monopoly in Russian. That 10 right there is an F. That's like a sh sign, the 5. I can read Russian somewhat. But yeah, the decay, this is falling apart pretty quickly. Somebody's stepping in, I think, to restore this house. All these items are going to go, more than likely. Looks like no family members came to pick up this stuff. As sad as that is. Here's kind of more old photos. Oh wow, check that out. That kid and that girl got married, it looks like. Those are old. Looks like it worked out for them. And I don't know if this is her or her parents. I really don't. Now this is not just junk. It's kind of stuff, I guess, she's acquired over the years, you know, through her travels. This is a board game from France, it looks like. I mean, who knows what else is hidden within these walls. But here's kind of another kind of sunroom falling apart now. But check out these vintage cars. She had a really cool display, and I believe she may have rented or had a bed and breakfast upstairs. People could kind of come down and talk to her and look through all this stuff with her. I'm sure she's had some insane stories to tell. But this room is very cool, as you'll see in a second. Sure, there's lots of junk here. Lots of board games. This when people didn't have phones, like, you know, I don't see too many people playing board games anymore, sadly. Yeah, this is in bad shape. But okay, over here, we have a computer and a desk with everything left. Now there were some passwords here. I kind of moved them to the side and took them off, so everybody leaves these accounts alone. But there's a lot of stuff here, a lot of personal stuff. I mean, just everything's here, even the car outside. I don't think anything was taken out of this house. In fact, all her personal information is here. So some things I found over here by this computer, there's multiple different passports dating back to the 70s. And we also have a bunch of cards from DePaul University. Now, The lady here lived in Lombard, Illinois for most of her life, and she kind of moved out of state towards the last few years of her life, probably to retire, but her entire life she was traveling. We can view these passports and see the inside. She visited France and multiple other countries throughout the years. All these things throughout this house are from her travels, at least many things. And viewing her passports and just the kind of the paintings on the wall and the maps and everything, she visited France so many times throughout her life. I really wonder what kind of business she had. She went to DePaul University. She went to the University of Maine. She went to New York University. So she was in school quite a long time. She definitely held quite the interesting life. Now, I don't think she had a husband because on the passports, under spouse, there's nothing there. There's also a lot of nun things around this house, like photos and stuff like that. So it's possible she was a nun or somebody in her family was. And up above from that, we have lots of photos of nuns. Now, it's possible that this was her in one of these photos. Maybe her daughter, I don't know. It's hard to tell. These do look dated, maybe from the 80s. Seems about right. There's like a world map of Europe from France. How old would that be? Let's check Germany. Oh, this is old. Empire of Austro-Hungarians. If you can see that in the middle. Whoa, this is quite old. Don't see a date here, but you can kind of tell if... Oh, geez. That's interesting. And this is still called Russia. This might be from like... Oh, 1914. There we go. Wow. This is from 1914, guys. This is when Russia was still Russia. And then it turned to this, communist. Wow. Very cool. It's too bad I can't read much of this stuff. Over here is kind of like a mirror. Then we have some cameras. Some really old cameras. I'm sure she used these. This one's like a video camera. Film camera, I'm sure she used these a lot. And all these drawers, they're just full of things. Don't want to look too much through this stuff. Just, I got both my hands full anyways. But there's just so much stuff here, guys. Her passports, all her information, cards, it's all still there. We also have like a projector back there. She probably played some films she took. I wonder what kind of films are on here. I wish I could have some more time to look through this and really show you some of the beautiful things she's probably taken. This room is actually blocked off. I haven't seen anybody go in here. There's like a door blocking it. It's probably her private little room. At least to use the computer. But that's about it for this room. We're going to keep going to the main kind of area. I was a little bit overwhelmed, which is why we kind of walked into here, but quite a bit of stuff. So we kind of checked over here already, looked at the couch and everything, the piano. Gosh, these ships are very, very cool. So now we get to over here. The stuff here is very cool as well. Like these ships and bottles. Huh. I always wonder, these were really a thing back then. I guess it was really difficult to make these. Because how do you put a small ship in a bottle like that? But yeah. So here's just some things, probably pine cones she's found outside. Here we have like another ship, multiple kind of knots. That's cool. The different types of knots. Just the amount of random things she's got. These books. Look at that. These got to be old books. And there's like stuff in the pages. And there's so much stuff here to look through from her life here. It's sad. I don't have the time to just look through all this stuff. Here we have, whoa. There's like a clam. I've never seen one like that. And coral. Some big barnacles. And here's some, somebody
Made that with an oxyacetylene torch and a welder. Looks like. Our plasma cutter, that's pretty neat. Somebody cut this metal with fire to make this. So kind of moving on over here, looks like more games. She really liked Knickknacks. Actually, this Garfield here, I'm pretty sure these things are sought after, at least they were. Collector's items. I heard people used to steal Garfield stuff from people's cars in the 1980s or 90s because it was so popular. But anyways, this is really cool, this kind of drawer here. So as we go down, it's going to get a lot cooler. So, I don't know, these are like vases. Some of these look ancient. You know, some books and other things. Perfume. But this stuff I find pretty fascinating. We have a shelf of all sorts of kind of minerals, as you can see. All sorts of different minerals. I mean, look at this stuff. This kind of looks like an orange. These kind of things. I kind of had to get rid of the light here to really focus on this stuff. Holding it with my hand here. But all sorts of minerals. And even below, if you guys will see, this stuff is really cool. Look at that. And this, I guess this one comes from India, iridated quartz. It's called kyanite. And this is like fuzzy. Check that out. Oronite. It's a rock somehow. And just all sorts of things. I don't know. I love kind of these different kinds of, I think different kinds of materials are very awesome. Very cool stuff. So here's kind of an overview look of this. And if you'll notice, actually, it appears these were windows and there's an addition behind me. Pretty neat. And you kind of use these. Here's a table. We've got the different kind of Russian presidents. Lenin v. Putin. And I don't know who that guy is. Gorbachev, probably. I don't know, I forgot. But this is kind of her little desk. It looks like she is handling papers and all sorts of things like that. And here's another one of those windows turned kind of shelf. You see all sorts of glassware just left behind here. Very cool stuff. Sadly, not many people collect these anymore. So kind of by the window we have maps of Europe. Probably France, more than likely. I just wonder how much this stuff is. It's got to be original, judging by everything I've seen so far. And we just got more books and newspapers. I mean, everything in this house is insane. I just wonder, where's the golden goose? There's so much unique stuff here. Like, what the heck is that? It's like an ancient artifact, you know? Very hard to tell. Look at that. I think that is catnip. So she had a lot of kitties. Here's the last date in the house, 2022. June. It's kind of eerie to believe that one of these dates, unfortunately it's not marked off so we don't know, but one of these dates was the day she likely passed away. So now we have arrived to the kitchen and just all sorts of things here. It's kind of on the wall. We'll kind of take a step back in a sec, but here were the cats in her house that she took photos of. She really loved them. This is Yasharli Ibidyo, whatever that means. Once again, we have around March or June, sometime between that time, this home was abandoned. Look at that, Morris for president. Must have been one of her cats. But now we have arrived to the kitchen. So here's some cat food. More French things. and just some gardening tools, umbrella, bag. This lady seems self-sufficient. All sorts of kind of glassware here as well. Probably rare glassware. Stuff you don't see anymore. We got some of the last things she used, it looks like. Just sitting here to dry. Very sad. All sorts of kind of just your average kitchenware. Now here's the other side. You can see this is definitely not changed much, at least the home, since the time it was kind of built, because this stove was still being used by her for all this time. That's got to be that's an older stove for sure. But you can see all the items still sit here, neatly placed. It's like she's gonna come back one day. Sad reality is, no, this stuff it's never gonna be used again, for the most part. There was her food kind of over there. Just bags of things. Some knives. And here's a refrigerator. Lots more photos of cats. Definitely, it's very obvious at this point. She liked cats. This is full of food. In fact, it smells a little bit. Somebody opened the fridge and knocked some of this food down. Could see stuff exploded in there and whatnot, and they opened the fridge and stuff fell out. I'm not going to open the fridge this time, just because both my hands are full. I'm holding a flashlight in my other one attaches to my camera died. But over here in the corner, got a microwave, some more books. Lots and lots of books. I didn't read too many books in my life. I just wonder, when I go through homes with books, have all these been read? How many books did she read? Because she bought these. This was the time when nobody had phones. No one was like lazy like that. I wonder just how many books that sit in people's homes do they read. And we got some tools here as well. I think this lady was very self-sufficient here. Lots of tools. So here we have a bathroom, and there's actually a lot of stuff in here. Just like nail clippers. All the towels are still set up here. The toilet is really decaying. I don't know what's in there. We got like these seashells. Just such a unique collection of things around this house. These kind of shells of creatures always interest me. Just such beautiful patterns that God has made. I always like to look at those. Sea star. And here's kind of the sink and the shower / bathtub. She probably used this. There's like cat food in here. Now the problem with cats, I think, sweater she must have worn, it does become a biohazard quickly. I mean, there's probably animals. I don't know if raccoons got in here, but this is kind of what the floors all look like. There's patterns all around here. But with cats, you can kind of see it with the white. It's just dirty. Same with a lot of animals, to be honest. Just dirt makes your house very dirty. So I'm also here in this house with Silent Hills Exploration. He's looking around. What do you think, dude?
This is one of the coolest houses I've ever seen. I mean, she had so much stuff here. And ordinarily, it would kind of be considered hoarding. But she, put everything in order. It's still really, really clean. There's still a place to walk and, see everything that she had. But she was obviously a world traveler. She went to France, Egypt, a lot of other countries. And there's, specific sections in the house where she had kind of themed to the countries. Like there's a France theme like over there, an Egyptian theme in, kind of the kitchen area. So it's really, really an organized house with a lot of things in it. And it's really an incredible story that she had. And really sad to see that it's left to decay and, be forgotten about.
So now we're kind of going over to this one room I kind of forgot. Now, we'll take a look in here. It's very dark. This one must have been her bedroom by the looks of it. And I don't know how long she lived in this house. She lived in Illinois for much of her life. But she definitely got older and passed away. And I say this because, I don't know, usually you see the beds sort of downstairs where it's easy to move around, and I just realized the bed is like very brown. It's very possible she passed away on this bed, come to think of it. Unless her cats got on here afterwards. I don't know. That's very strange to me. I just realized that. Oh, that's so weird to see. I don't know. Hopefully that's not the case, and my eyes are deceiving me here.
My brain wasn't processing at what I was seeing. I couldn't believe my eyes.
Oh, that's weird. That's like hair. Maybe from an animal, though. Oh, what? Wait a second.
Then it hit me what it was.
The floor is like discolored in this one area for some reason. I don't know why. Oh my gosh. Wait, it's like there's like nowhere else on the floor that it's discolored like this. This might have been the spot that she died. I just realized there's like a pool of liquids that kind of went down here. Oh, that is... I wish I realized that after going in this room. Oh, that's terrible. Holy cow. So that just must have happened right here. Whoa. That's very, very sad. Well, this is where she stayed. You can see there's like stuff on the TV, I don't know. Like something kind of... things were going around. Kind of tainting everything around here. This was all her. This was definitely her room. Here's like all her clothing in there. Lots of VHS tapes. Where she must have, this is definitely stuff she's filmed herself, I believe. Oh, it's so weird being in here now. Oh man, this is very odd. There's like the wood burning stove right by her bed. Candles, lighters, whole lot of books here. Oh, I want to get away from this room. Let me film this and get out. Yeah, look at that. Does that not look like something strange happened? Sure does to me. Anyways, walking kind of through here. Oh man. So up here, there's like a Titanic kind of sculpture. Looks like she made out of metal, you know, one of those kits you buy at the store. And over here is just more coral and more books. Okay, I'm gonna get out of this room now. Don't want to be in here. Oh, dude. She totally passed away here. That's like for the hazmat crew. Somebody left their shoe behind. Oh, there's another one. Oh, jeez. Get me out of here. Dude.
Yo.
She passed away in that room.
Did she actually?
Yes.
How can you tell?
Dude, there's like fluids all over the floor and on the bed.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So she could have been dead there and no one knew until, you know, someone came to check on her.
Yeah. It's so weird once you realize it.
What do you think happened to the cats?
They
Also died?
were all around. I don't know. So now, folks, we're going to head upstairs. It's kind of through the back. So, I've come to realize that she had a bed and breakfast, I think, upstairs. Or at least rented this top portion out. It's very clean up here. Very, like someone else stayed here and moved out. People are coming back and forth from here. Clearly, very clearly. It's cool. This is older as well. She had to pay to kind of get this all set up, I'm sure. But here's like a table and another table for people to eat. Very large room. I actually really like it. This would have definitely been comfy. A lot, very different than the second floor. There's even another door for somebody separately to go out here. So this is the upstairs. Check it out. So this is one of the decaying tables that people would eat at. And that chandelier is about to fall. Oh wow, that is hanging by a thread. It looks very cool like this though. And here's another wood burning stove. I don't know what year this house was built. We'll have to find out. We got 2 chairs by that. And then here's the other kind of rooms. They're more empty, but it's all still set up. Beds are neatly folded. It's very interesting. So here's like 2 school desks, I guess, kind of. Maybe this was a schoolhouse at some point, huh? You never know. But this is definitely kind of a school-themed area. Got a smiley face there. So here's kind of one of the rooms here. People must have lived here at least somewhat long-term. Because like this is, I don't know. You got like desks and stuff here. So I don't know. But, oh, and we got a really crazy room over there. So here's one of the bedrooms. It's all still set up, just left as it was. When she passed away, I mean, there was probably nobody using this part of the house at the time, which is why things were so bad. Imagine people calling this number, trying to stay here. She wasn't answering because she was inside the house. Probably not alive. And this just kind of stayed just as it was since then. Now kind of last room in this hallway. This is a bit different. Actually, there's 2 rooms. We'll check this one out. Because this one is empty, but it's another kind of hangout spot. We got a couch, wood-burning stove. I guess the fireplace is in use, and a TV. This is definitely like another hangout spot she had for people. But next to this room, guys, this is very cool. Forgot to show this one. So check it out. We have a bunch of model stuff. Here's a model train set. Oh, this stuff is the coolest stuff to me. Hopefully one day I'm wealthy enough to have one of these in my house. Just a space for this. I don't know who made this, if it was her or what. I don't see too many girls making these, but you never know. But this is very cool. This would have been very fun to play with, even as an adult. Look at all the detailing here. This is so neat. All the little bushes, trees, the churches, the little town. I mean, this is just awesome. All this stuff here. So yeah, this is that. Very, very cool. Almost looks like the middle was kind of storage. And here, you have a model dollhouse with furniture in it. This is pretty cool. It's falling apart too, like the house. It's abandoned. All sorts of little rooms here. That's really interesting. An abandoned house in an abandoned house. But yeah, that's this kind of. Whoops, almost fell. This dollhouse here, though. That's what this is. And there's even more stuff. There's even more stuff here. We got You got this kind of castle here. Look at that. That must have been really fun to build. It's even got little soldiers on there, very tiny. Building this requires your hands not to be shaky. But this is very cool. I love this. Last kind of not but least, in this room we got some toy cars. Oh, look at that. That's a Matchbox or Hot Wheels, 1988. I like this. This is cool. I used to collect these as a kid. I think that's the only Hot Wheels car. You can tell by the wheels that this is Hot Wheels from the 80s to the 70s. The rest of these I think are Matchbox or just off-brand stuff. But this is pretty cool. We got like a shelf of dinosaurs that were made. Probably she did make this stuff. I mean, this stuff's all over the house. She spent her time doing this, it seems. Yeah, just school buses. Oh, what the heck? Do you guys think these are real? These are like turtles. That's gotta be fake, I would think. All sorts of little, gosh, model things here. Very neat. Anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for today's video. I was joined with Silent Hills Exploration as well. He's gonna back there, but I did not realize what we found coming in here. I could not believe my eyes. Very, very sad story. It's a story that happens to many. Most people are just forgotten, you know, and I hope this is just a look through somebody's life that can be remembered forever, because I'm sure everybody wants to be remembered. Nobody wants to be forgotten. Just insane what this lady has done, and the things she's achieved, the places she's gone. Very cool, and very proud of her. But anyways, thanks for watching. Nice, dude. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.